The essential phone is the all-new $700 black slab of composites and rare earth metals, excruciatingly and laboriously hewn from the earth itself by impoverished workers in China, that you absolutely have to have because years of Western excess and indulgence have stricken all ability to contextualize actual needs from your wan, decrepit soul. Perhaps the phone's most immediately striking point is its design, which of course it fucking is because you're looking at it with your eyes and therefore parsing the design just about as directly as possible without slathering your grimy paws all over it. Which, speaking of, do your best not to do. The preferential loam is shinier than a well-polished knob of wood, and you will gunk up the mirror finish back until it looks like the wall after you got out of bed, tripped and fell in the fireplace, coated your hands in ashes, and then groped for the light switch on a glass wall on the wrong side of the room. The phone is black and rectangular, and if I want to, right here I can say it's reminiscent of the monoliths from 2001: A Space Odyssey if I feel like giving myself a verbal blowjob over the fact that I watch good movies like the rest of human civilization. Made from the magical mineral titanium, an ethereal element the secrets of whose forging were only perfected over millennia of the finest craft stores sacrificing their lives in their pursuit, and ceramic, i.e. that shit what Potts is made of, the residential phone is approximately 10 times as hard as my dick. Despite this, I have not yet been able to make either scratch the other, in clear violation of science and God, so we'll call that a stalemate for now. Speaking of dicks, the Providential Home is just about the right size to shove into my mouth and doesn't awkwardly stretch the corners of my lips like the Google Pixel XL, albeit the little bastard is quite recalcitrantly rigid and insists upon banging my uvula till I puke every time I attempt to swallow it. However, it must be noted that fellatio or other bodily insertions of the placental bone are strongly advised against, as the little fella is not IP certified against ingress of fluids, to the cringingly audible satisfaction of Samsung fanboys everywhere. Admittedly, however, I struggle to understand the necessity of this waterproofing, a sudden must-have on every flagship ever since Samsung first managed to figure it out on a phone that wasn't a piece of shit a couple years back. Sure, we'd had the bolder flip phone, whose party trick of receiving calls in the bottom of a pint amused many a bar crowd, but apart from that, there was an implicit agreement between manufacturer and consumer that we wouldn't try to dunk our shiny new exorbitantly priced slab of sensors and tech in our minestrone. Like, listen, people, I'm a student, and these days a Floridian one. I have been caught in the rain without an umbrella and walked that bitch out and come out the other side soggier than your mother after her heroic and legendary blowout bukkake bash to celebrate her retirement from the biz. My phone has never emerged from my pocket damper than the moist towelettes you use to scrape off the dingleberries when they get too dense. How are you people getting your phones so sodden in the course of your everydays that they cease to function? Anyway, irrelevant. Point is, don't dunk this bitch or it's not gonna work no mores. Another standout feature of the design, which you will cunningly apprehend through the miracle of human vision, is the cyclopean absence of screen in which lies the referential moan's front-facing camera. Galling though it may initially be in its insistent implication that someone is always watching and that perhaps you are not as safe as you thought you are, these feelings soon fade, much as the news stories did about your local county mounties getting bazookas to ward off the ingress of minorities did a year or so ago. This virtual evanescence of a plainly visible dot is due to a subtle and clever combination of the facts that 1. Only mouth breathers ever spent more than about 0.5 seconds every other minute glancing up there for notifications in the first place, and 2. Approximately none % of the available apps do anything but chunk up a black bar there instead of expanding into glorious 1312 by slightly more than usual p, like a sad shoulder shrug of, we couldn't be bothered to figure out an OS level implementation. However, on the couple of apps, by which I mean pretty much just Google apps in the home screen, where it does work, the strange expansion of expected visual real estate is like a bracingly brisk gulp of frosty air to the eye lungs. It feels much like that first time you did magic mushrooms, where you were convinced your eyes were growing convex and you could see more and more around yourself in the fourth dimension, strange apparitions darting Anna and Kata about your altered self, but really you were just sitting there and opening your eyes really wide while you watched Transformers Beast Wars. The camera is fine, insofar as blowing air out your ass like a trumpet on all the major tech journalism sites to herald your accomplishments and making pictures look more good by using 2 cameras, only to release a camera which fares appreciably worse than all major competitors is fine. On the other hand, you can download Google's camera app and the pictures immediately look almost indiscernibly as good as anything the Pixel takes, which is great because it means essential software engineers can continue not to do their fucking jobs. By contrast, the hardware engineers need to cool off and stop overworking because fundamentally I am hot and horny for this slick little beauty. The fingerprint scanner is inset quite fleshly, to the extent it can be hard to feel without concentration, but works quicker than a crowdfunded video game company gives the fuck up and steals the money. Frequently, I don't even realize I'm unlocking the phone until it's over. It's like somehow this insidious device has infiltrated my mind, and purely out of reflex I slap my dirty digit right in the phone's G-spot and boom, I'm jacked into the Matrix, baby. While we're on the subject of fingerprint scanners, if you are a phone designer for anything Android and you want to put the fingerprint scanner on the front of the phone, fuck you. Fuck you and all your shit. That's a bad idea and you should feel bad. Phones are at least twice as tall as my dick these days, and that means my thumb only has purchase over the whole screen at a very narrow range of vertical coordinates. Android's notification bar, in case you hadn't noticed, is on the goddamn top of the screen. So, if you intend to make me one-hand monkey bar scale my phone between unlocking and swiping away my email notifications that my mother just went live on Twitch playing League again, lest I give myself carpal tunnel curling my stubby thumb around like a moron to activate your poorly thought-out scanner without moving my hand, you got another thing coming. On the back of the torrential groan are a pair of silver dots, ostensibly to provide purchase for a slew of modular accessories. But all they got right now is that 360-degree camera I'm sure you've already seen, and I might be a prick, but I'm not that much of a prick. So fuck that, I'm not dropping $50 to pre-order a strap-on for my phone that lets my asshole friends swipe around on my Facebook videos so they can see my dumbass face while I try to show them the Bon Jovi cover band concert I went to at the municipal park. There are currently no other modules that I'm aware of, other than the hotly anticipated bullshit half-ass wireless charging dock that isn't really wireless or even at all what anyone meant when they asked for wireless charging. So as far as I'm concerned, all discussion of this phone's modular potential is a circle jerk until Andy Rubin shows me a module that lets me strap my phone to an Ona hole while it displays a picture of Hatsune Miku. There's no headphone jack on the differential cone either, but Apple ditched that too, and the world marches to the tune of that perverse little posse of pipers. So it's time to face the music that unless they go full NVIDIA hyper-proprietary with their wireless solution and ditch Bluetooth for some reason, then by the time Christmas 2017 is over with, you'll be able to pick up some Bluetooth bows in the thrift shop for $20, so you can all stop crying now and live with it in the intervening months. In conclusion, Essential Phone is a phone that isn't really essential because I could just buy a different phone. Har har. Final rating is 8 out of 10. Suck it.